engine turns, but the engine won't ignite. Just a grinding empty sound in the middle of the night. I feel the frustration building, a pressure in my head. A silent, slow explosion for all the words I left unsaid. We used to race storms, laughing at the blinding rain. Now the quiet aftershock is the worst kind of pain. I kick the fender hard, I need a simple raw release, but the thunder in my blood won't let me find my peace. They said that time would heal, that the fever would subside, but every memory of you is a place I can't hide. I grip the cold steel tide, letting the fury start to rise, reflecting the broken promise in my tired burning eyes. There's thunder in my blood, a rhythm I can't slow, a heavy pulsing current telling me where to go. I drive hard into the night, through the static and the haze, chasing the lightning that defined our reckless days. The wheels scream on the asphalt, but they can't drown out the sound of the heart that's still breaking on this desolate ground. Let the fury take the wheel, let the power make it clear. The thunder in my blood is the only thing left here. I remember the velocity, the way we used to fly. No map, no destination, just a highway and the sky. We were unstoppable forces, breaking every rule they made. Now I'm just a wreck pulled over in the shadow of the shade. I need the metal screaming, I need the gears to grind and fight to drown out the gentle sadness that steals away the light. I punch the dash and feel the shock run down into my core, 'cause the love we built together doesn't work here anymore. They said that time would heal, that the fever would subside, but every memory of you is a place I can't hide. I grip the cold steel tide, letting the fury start to rise, reflecting the broken promise in my tired burning eye. There's thunder in my blood, a rhythm I can't slow, a heavy pulsing current telling me where to go. I drive hard into the night, through the static and the haze, chasing the lightning that defined our reckless days. The wheels scream on the asphalt, but they can't drown out the sound of the heart that's still breaking on this desolate ground. Let the fury take the wheel, let the power make it clear. The thunder in my blood is the only thing left here. I don't seek salvation, I don't seek the light, just the raw, pure energy to get me through the night. I'm fueled by the failure, powered by the regret, a machine running wild on a debt I haven't met. Trying to leave the wreckage of who you made of me. I pack the memories deep inside beneath the oil and tools, but they rattle with the engine, breaking all the simple rules. I need the sheer velocity, the air punch in my face, anything to stop the silence from filling up the space. The darkness outside the window is the only friend I claim as I push the heavy throttle and whisper out your name. This road is long, but my fuse is running short. I need a final exit, a desperate final port. I see the city lights ahead, a distant mocking glow, and I'll tear through every barrier just to let the anger go. I'ma burn the night away, let the fire in the pipes ignite. Trade the sorrow for the speed, turn the sadness into light. The needles in the red zone, the asphalt turns to smoke. This is the only answer to the promise that you broke. I need the metal screaming, I need the wheels to grind and turn. Gonna burn the night away until the final lessons learned. I'm driving through the heartache, fueled by the rage and pain. Gonna burn the night away until nothing can remain. I'll pass the old motel where we swore we'd settle down, a cruel bright beacon in this lonely broken town. The phantom scent of your perfume hits me like a blow, so I crank the music louder till the speakers start to blow. I let the distortion carry all the weight I couldn't bear, the frustration, the resentment, the knowledge you don't care. I don't need a soft escape, I don't need a quiet end. I need the engine roaring just to feel my spirit mend. This road is long, but my fuse is running short. I need a final exit, a desperate final port. I see the city lights ahead, a distant mocking glow, and I'll tear through every barrier just to let the anger go. I'm gonna burn the night away, let the fire in the pipes ignite. Trade the sorrow for the speed, turn the sadness into light. The needles in the red zone, the asphalt turns to smoke. This is the only answer to the promise that you broke. I need the metal screaming, I need the wheels to grind and turn. Gonna burn the night away until the final lessons learned. I'm driving through the heartache, fueled by the rage and pain. Gonna burn the night away until nothing can remain. I don't care if I crash, I don't care what they say. Just gotta keep this forward motion, tearing through the gray until the fuel runs dry or the morning finally breaks. I'll pay the heavy toll for every single chance it takes. Burn the night away. Burn the night away. I haven't seen the sunlight in a week, maybe more. Just the endless yellow lines rushing past the car door. I'm driving on fumes and the memory of your face, trying to outrun the silence of this empty, lonely space. I hear the rustling in the dark, the growl beneath the sound of the failures and the judgments that keep circling around. I glance in the mirror, but I see no one there, just the reflection of the panic and the weight I cannot bear. They're getting closer now, the shadows of the past, the mistakes I made with you, moving way too fast. I slam the gear shift down, injecting more power to the floor, cause if I stop right here, they'll tear my spirit to the core. The wolves are at my back, powered by regret and pain. How you find no words beneath the pouring rain. I push the engine harder, need the speed to break the chain, driving through the darkness again and again. Let the chrome and the fire be the only shields I know against the lonely hunger that refuses to let go. The captive quiet sadness of the man I used to be. I'm driving through the desert where the heat bleeds out the light, searching for the fury to win this lonely fight. The engine's fighting back now, it's screaming for the change. I need the sheer velocity to rearrange this pain. I grip the steering wheel and press my foot down to the floor, 'cause if I don't break free tonight, I can't take this anymore. I gotta break the chains that you left wrapped around my soul. Tear down the walls you built to take complete control. I need the freedom of a fracture, the loud decisive sound of the metal snapping, falling to the silent ground. Let the fury be the fire, let the speed be the key to break the chains and finally liberate the rest of me. I'm driving hard through the sorrow, aiming for the light. I gotta break the chains, or I'll be bound here for the night. I stop at the roadside where the shadows fall the worst, and finally face the monster I always knew was cursed. It's the version of myself that clung to what was wrong, singing your quiet anthem, playing your fading song. But tonight the air is different, the stars are cold and clear. I finally hear the difference between hope and endless fear. I smash the old assumptions, shatter all the fragile lies, and see the fierce reflection burning in my own two eyes. The engine's fighting back now, it's screaming for the change. I need the sheer velocity to rearrange this pain. I grip the steering wheel and press my foot down to the floor, 'cause if I don't break free tonight, I can't take this anymore. I gotta break the chains that you left wrapped around my soul. Tear down the walls you built to take complete control. I need the freedom of the fracture, the loud decisive sound of the metal snapping, falling to the silent ground. Let the fury be the fire, let the speed be the key to break the chains and finally liberate the rest of me. I'm driving hard through the sorrow, aiming for the light. I gotta break the chains, or I'll be bound here for the night. I gotta break the chains, or I'll be bound here for the night. I gotta break the chains. I feel the weight lifting, the pressure starts to cease. The sweet chaotic moment of finding final peace. No more looking backward, no more holding on to grace. Just the blinding forward power of leaving this sad place. Break the chains, break the chains. They say I got a temper, they say I burn too bright, but the flame was always yours, fueling my dark and lonely night. I keep the pedal down hard until the engine starts to seize, and trying to outrun the echoes, whispering in the breeze. This road is my escape route, the only way I know to handle the explosion of where we had to go. I'm running on a failure, powered by the cost of every single fragile piece of the love that we lost. I feel the heat rising, the temperature in my soul. I need the metal screaming to regain some kind of control. I'm pushing past the warnings, ignoring all the signs, 'cause the only way to heal this is to burn across the lines. I got a gasoline heart, and you struck the match that day. Now I'm in inferno on the road, burning the past away. I need the sheer velocity, the friction and the smoke, to shatter every single word of the promise that you broke. I'm driving through the fire, let the rubber turn to ash, running on pure adrenaline, fueled by a reckless crash. Yeah, my heart's made of gasoline, and the only cure I find is to burn the whole damn highway and leave the pain behind. I stop at a roadside where the darkness is complete, and smell the heavy metal, the sulfur and the heat. I open up the hood and watch the steam escape and rise. A mirror to the pressure behind my weary eyes. I remember all your warnings about driving way too fast, but you built a ticking bomb that was never meant to last. The only therapy I know is the rumble and the roar, until the fuel runs empty and I can't take anymore. I feel the heat rising, the temperature in my soul. I need the metal screaming to regain some kind of control. I'm pushing past the warnings, ignoring all the signs, 'cause the only way to heal this is to burn across the lines. I got a gasoline heart, and you struck the match that day. Now I'm in inferno on the road, burning the past away. I need the sheer velocity, the friction and the smoke, to shatter every single word of the promise that you broke. I'm driving through the fire, let the rubber turn to ash, running on pure adrenaline, fueled by a reckless crash. Yeah, my heart's made of gasoline, and the only cure I find is to burn the whole damn highway and leave the pain behind. I'm not looking for an answer, I don't need a soft goodbye, just the power of this engine beneath the broken sky. Let me run it till it breaks, let me run it till it stops. I'll pay the final price for every single drop. pushing forward hard through the silence and the gray, trying to outrun the light that comes with every day. Because the shadows hold the secrets, the places I can hide, the raw exposed sadness that I keep deep inside. I see your face reflected in the chrome before I start, a flash of beautiful torment tearing at my heart. This road is long and the burden's getting deep. I need the metal screaming secrets that the shadows keep. I slam the door shut hard, locking all the weakness in, and let the roaring engine tell me where to begin. It's just the iron and the shadows now, the only things I know. The cold hard weight of moving when I've got nowhere to go. I'll wear the darkness like armor against the sun's cruel light, driving through the aftermath of every shattered night. I need the sheer momentum to shatter all the lies that I see reflected in the cold unfeeling skies. It's just the iron and the shadows, pushing through the cold, the heavy lonely freedom, a story left untold. I stop beneath the bridge where the concrete starts to bleed, and watch the phantom figures planting a useless seed of memory and regret growing heavy and tall. I lean against the engine waiting for the final call. The machine is my companion, steady and designed to absorb the frantic chaos that's raging in my mind. I trade the fragile human for the strength of the cold steel, hoping that the hardness is the only thing I'll feel. This road is long and the burden's getting deep. I need the metal screaming secrets that the shadows keep. I slam the door shut hard, locking all the weakness in, and let the roaring engine tell me where to begin. It's just the iron and the shadows now, the only things I know. The cold hard weight of moving when I've got nowhere to go. I wear the darkness like armor against the sun's cruel light, driving through the aftermath of every shattered night. I need the sheer momentum to shatter all the lies that I see reflected in the cold unfeeling skies. It's just the iron and the shadows, pushing through the cold, the heavy lonely freedom, a story left untold. I welcome the darkness, I welcome the rough terrain, anything to distract me from the simple quiet pain. Because the blackness doesn't judge and the metal doesn't weep, it just carries the tired heart that I've sworn that I would keep. Iron shadows and shadows. I left the house standing, but everything inside was burned. Lessons I should have mastered, corners I should have turned. I saw the glow in the rear view, an orange mocking gleam. The fire questions that I'm too scared to ask why. I push the machine harder, fighting for every single mile, 'cause the fire will consume me if I pause and reconcile. I'm running from the fire, the consequence of all our rage, turning the final corner on the last burning page. I need the sheer momentum, the wind tearing at my face, to scrub away the residue of this heartbreaking place. The engine is screaming, a constant urgent play, to run from the destruction you create inside of me. I'm running from the fire, I'm driving through the dark, hoping the asphalt ribbon can finally leave its mark. I saw the light go out behind your cold and empty eyes, the final chilling signal that the beautiful thing dies. That's when the walls ignited, that's when the roof fell in, a consequence of letting all the reckless choices win. I drove away without a look, I drove away in haste, leaving every single failure to the terrible quick waste. Now the heat is on my back, the asphalt is my guide, the only way to survive is to leave the rest behind. The flames are climbing higher, they're licking at the sky, and the smoke is full of questions that I'm too scared to ask why. I push the machine harder, fighting for every single mile, 'cause the fire will consume me if I pause and reconcile. I'm running from the fire, the consequence of all our rage, turning the final corner on the last burning page. I need the sheer momentum, the wind tearing at my face, to scrub away the residue of this heartbreaking place. The engine is screaming, a constant urgent play, to run from the destruction you create inside of me. I'm running from the fire, I'm driving through the dark, hoping the asphalt ribbon can finally leave its mark. I don't know where I'm going, I don't care about the end, I just know that if I stop, the wreckage starts to mend. And I don't wanna fix it, I just wanna feel the sting, the desperate raw adrenaline that the running seems to bring. Run from the fire. I pull the car over where the concrete starts to crack. 1,000 ghost headlights glaring from the track. They say the road is endless, a promise of the free, but all I see is silence staring back at me. I got dirt beneath my fingernails and rust along the frame, and 1,000 miles of failure whispering your name. This highway's got a structure built on rock and dust and wire, but beneath the surface it's just bones and old dead fire. We laid our plans down here beneath the yellow painted lines, ignore the brittle warnings, the devastating signs. Now the road is quiet, breathing in the cold thin air, and it carries the heavy knowledge of the heart we quiet, lonely wreckage of a love that lost it all. The bones of the highway, they won't let my spirit rest. They just echo the emptiness inside my tired chest. At the broken median, the glass and the dry weeds, a metaphor for where we planted all our careless seeds. They grew into a forest of sharp, suffocating doubt, until the very strength of what we built finally ran out. Trace the lines of the pavement with a restless shaking hand, trying to find the sacred I could never understand. How something so eternal, so fixed and hard and true, could suddenly just fracture and break away from you. We laid our plans down here beneath the yellow painted lines. Ignore the brittle warnings, the devastating signs. Now the road is quiet, breathing in the cold thin air, and it carries the heavy knowledge of the heart we broke right here. Oh, the bones of the highway are made of every failed goodbye, the metal and the sorrow beneath the empty sky. Every mile marker is a tombstone placed along the way for the future that we shattered on a cruel and different day. I press my ear against the blacktop and I swear I hear them call, the quiet, lonely wreckage of a love that lost it all. The bones of the highway, they won't let my spirit rest. They just echo the emptiness inside my tired chest. One moment wreck pulled over, another story etched in stone. A heavy tired rider on a journey all alone. I'll drive until the asphalt finally fades into the dust, but the memory of your absence is the one thing I can trust. Bones of the highway. reflects the silence where the sound of our chaotic laughter used to fill the entire night. Now the only noise is the slow draining of the light. I crawl out from the twisted steel, the dust filling my lungs. The wreckage is the monument to all the wars we swung. We tore it all down fast, left nothing but the rust and the bitter hard realization that we were built on dust. I look back at the inferno, the smoke and empty shell, and for the first time the pain is not a place where I must dwell. The weight is gone, the chains are snapped, the structure's finally gone, and now I find the fury to step toward the rising dawn. I will rise from the wreckage with the fire in my eyes, leaving all the broken metal beneath the empty skies. I feel the ground shaking, fueled by the will to live and breathe. This is the final chapter, the final thing to achieve. I'll take the shots of sorrow, forge them into a shield of steel, and walk away from the destruction that I was forced to feel. I rise from the wreckage, a new engine starts to roar. I am not your failure, I won't be broken anymore. I wipe the blood and oil from the places I can see, and realize the hardest part was letting go of we. The machine is gone, the journey's over, the destination failed, but the soul beneath the metal is the only thing unveiled. I take one deep clean breath of the cold and morning air, and leave the phantom pressure of your constant heavy stare. I'm not rebuilding the old frame, I'm building something new, something entirely my own, something completely true. I look back at the inferno, the smoke and empty shell, and for the first time the pain is not a place where I must dwell. The weight is gone, the chains are snapped, the structure's finally gone, and now I find the fury to step toward the rising dawn. I will rise from the wreckage with the fire in my eyes, leaving all the broken metal beneath the empty skies. I feel the ground shaking, fueled by the will to live and breathe. This is the final chapter, the final thing to achieve. I'll take the shards of sorrow, forge them into a shield of steel, and walk away from the destruction that I was forced to feel. I rise from the wreckage, a new engine starts to roar. I am not your failure, I won't be broken anymore. The scars are the blueprints for the man I'm meant to be, the testament to fighting, the proof of my liberty. I step onto the asphalt and I feel the strength take hold, a story of survival, braver than I was told. The sky above the highway is the color of a bruise, reflecting all the sorrow all the chances I refuse. I'm driving through the storm that broke the perfect silence wide, trying to find the eye of the hurricane inside. I used to fear the power, the violence of the flash. Now I drive right toward it, hoping for a final crash. Cause the only honest light left in this heavy fading world is the jagged broken pattern of the lightning fiercely hurled. The static is building, the energy is raw and high, fusing to be silent beneath the crying sky. I push the machine harder, welcoming the pain and the shock. Cause this desperate, reckless feeling is the strength of the final rock. I wear the crown of lightning now, born from the fiercest storm. A broken, brilliant halo, keeping my spirit warm. I found the power in the wreckage, the fury in the sound of the thunder that keeps shaking the cold asphalt ground. Let the rain wash the failure, let the wind scream out your name. I trade the quiet comfort for the wild and violent flame. I wear the crown of lightning, a fierce and lonely king, and the only love I live for is the chaos that it brings. I remember when our passion was a slow and gentle rain. Now it's a shocking current, a flash of white-hot pain. I pull over to the shoulder, watch the darkness split and tear. A mirror to the explosion that's raging everywhere. I opened up the door, let the cold air hit my face, and breathe in the adrenaline of this frightening lonely space. The truth is in the voltage, the truth is in the sound of the strength that only breaks when the old structure is unbound. The static is building, the energy is roaring high, refusing to be silent beneath the crying sky. I push the machine harder, welcoming the pain and the shock. Cause this desperate, reckless feeling is the strength of the final rock. I wear the crown of lightning now, born from the fiercest storm. A broken, brilliant halo, keeping my spirit warm. I found the power in the wreckage, the fury in the sound of the thunder that keeps shaking the cold asphalt ground. Let the rain wash the failure, let the wind scream out your name. I trade the quiet comfort for the wild and violent flame. I wear the crown of lightning, a fierce and lonely king, and the only love I live for is the chaos that it brings. The chaos that it brings. I don't need the sunshine, I don't need the soft goodbye. I just need the breaking of the current from the sky to feel the raw, pure power of a force I can't command. Lonely fears, redemption in